of the Longwood Alumni Association and a graduate, like Brian said, way back when, of the field school. I'm here today on behalf of the Alumni Association to present the Horace Mann Honorary Alumni Award. This prestigious award is presented to individuals who are not alumni, but have given extraordinary service to Longwood University through their deeds and actions, individuals who reflect the values of a true citizen leader. So only 12 individuals in this world have received this distinction. Excuse me. So before today, our honoree is in good company. There have only been 2 previous recipients of the Horace Mann Award since it's been named Horace Mann, and those were Dr. Patricia and Raymond Cormier, the former president and first gentleman of Longwood University. For those of you who don't know, Horace Mann was the first Secretary of Education with roots in New England, just like our recipient today. He was a graduate of Brown University, and while at Brown, Mr. Mann's thesis was the progressive character of the human race, which can easily apply to the work done here at Longwood Field School. The field school that all of you are a part of today truly allows the present generation to explore and learn from the character and the characters of the past. A wise Sioux medicine man, Black Elk, famously said, "Let my people live once more." And that is exactly what our field school and our award recipient today has allowed the past to do. Explore the character of the past and those who came before us. There's likely no other professor at Longwood who has influenced his students as much as Dr. Jordan. He came to Longwood in 1978 after traveling from his home state of Pennsylvania to serve as an officer. He's one of my favorite professors. To serve as an officer in the U.S. Army Medical Corps. Then he received his master's from the University of Connecticut and his PhD from Georgia State University. 2 short years after his Farmville arrival in 1978, Dr. Jordan led the first group of Longwood students to excavate Anna's Ridge, named after his older daughter, and in Cumberland State Forest, and hasn't looked back since. More than 2,000 students have been fortunate enough to dig in the dirt, and tens of thousands have probably had the good fortune to have Dr. Jordan share his wide-ranging knowledge in the classroom. And I'll bet he remembers almost everybody's name. His passion and love of archaeology and life in the dirt and in the classroom have been gifts to every student lucky enough to have learned from a man of such brilliant character. There could be no better thank you to him from every student, past and present, than knowing the field school continues under his name. Dr. Jordan has been recognized by the Virginia Legislature, teaching foundations, and his peers for his contributions in teaching and research over the past 33 years. And I'm here to add to those well-deserved accolades. Please join me in congratulating our Horace Mann recipient, Dr. Jordan.
I wish to make speaks for a few brief moments. First of all, thank you all very much for coming to this place today under these unusual climatic circumstances. I appreciate the fact that you have literally risked your life to breathe here. Thank you. I am honored by what has happened to me in the last few minutes. I appreciate the fact that President Wrigley and Mrs. Shelton and Miss Early have come down to this place in the rural area of Virginia to be a part of this celebration. I'd like to introduce my genetic family, my daughter Anna, after whom the first archaeological site was named the Anna's Ridge site in 1980. Anna, could you please hold your hand up? And my daughter Katie. My grandson Jack. in-laws Tony and Brent. My youngest daughter Katie's pregnant, and another one of my grandchildren 2 days before Thanksgiving. Sorry about that, honey.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am, you may.
Notice that he mentioned Anna's Ridge. The second child doesn't get an archaeological site. He said that he would do Katie's Bottom someday. The opportunity hasn't presented itself.
There may still be time.
Okay.
Take some maternity leave. Perhaps there will be time.
Okay.
Your wife and your child.
She has my wife, Michelle.
Please stand up, Mrs. Bates. Stand up.
Yeah, make me stand up.
12 days, possibly.
Around the campfire, we will be naming the child later. Please.
I asked Mrs. Shelton's office if she could find the number of alumni of Longwood University. Her office produced the number 40,869. So I think I am the 40,870th alumni of Longwood University. And I appreciate that a great deal. I, like along with Joan of Arc, think I like this place now, and I believe I'm going to stay here for a long, long time in the Rotunda. Listen, the next time you go into the Rotunda, look up beyond Joan of Arc. He touched her toes when he came through his first day on the job, President Wheatley, for good luck, and I hope that she brings you good luck. She has brought me good luck for 35 years now. Way up in the interior of the Rotunda Dome at Longwood University, there are 4 very stern-looking men. One of them with the long white beard is Horace Mann, after whom this award is named, and I just wanted you to know that. So President Wheatley and Joan of Arc and Horace Mann are all entombed in the Rotunda. There's another friend I have here this evening. I looked for him. I wanted so badly to shake hands with him. It's been a long time, but I didn't see him personally. I know he's here. His spirit's here. It's probably out in the woods someplace, in the darker areas of the shadows, because he's the kind of fellow who really, I think, never enjoyed this sort of gathering where you were elbow to elbow with other people. His name, as my former student Kathleen Early mentioned several minutes ago, is Black Elk. Black Elk was an old man when I first met him. I was a young kid then. It was a long time ago. He's still an old man, and now I've become an old man like Black Elk. Black Elk was a Lakota Sioux Indian. He was a medicine man of the Lakota Sioux in the 1860s and 1870s, when the river still ran pure and the grass was green and the bison were on the hills. And Black Elk took care of his people with his supernatural powers. Black Elk lived a long, long time, and by the 1930s he was a blind old man who fell into the clutches of an anthropologist. The anthropologist was John G. Nyhard, and John Nyhard decided, I will plumb the depths of the memory of this Lakota Sioux medicine man, for he will surely soon be dead. He was a blind man then, Black Elk was. So many evenings sitting in those lodges with the soot fires and so on to keep the mosquitoes away. He'd gone blind, but he could still remember the olden days. So John G. Nyhard took my friend Black Elk, and for 3 summers in the 1930s, he plumbed the depths of his memory of what it was like to be a prehistoric Indian at a place like this, but he was out in the Dakotas. And at the end of 3 years, John G. Nyhard, the anthropologist, had the text of a book, which Kathleen Early has read, and many other people. It's called Black Elk Speaks. From now on, I am stealing every word from that book. I am not speaking for myself. I'm speaking for my friend, Black Elk. Black Elk, at the end of 3 years of telling his life to the anthropologist, Black Elk said, I am done. There is no more. He had moved to a reservation at the time in his life, and there was no more. And he said to John G. Nyhard, one thing only I would ask. Take me again to Harney Peak. I'll never forget it. Harney Peak was up in the Badlands of the Dakotas. It was a long ways away. Manderson Post Office is where Black Elk lived, in a small sod house. And that summer in the 1930s,